2020 has been a challenging year. We've all had to figure out how to pivot and continue to make progress within our own careers, our own businesses, and so on. There isn't a better way to make progress than to make sure that the work that you're putting out stands out from the competition. And that's one of the things and one of the main topics of today's video. So if you're interested in something like that, make sure you stick around and you watch the whole video so that you can learn how it is that I'm planning on standing out from the competition into 2021. Welcome to another episode of Quick Takes C70 edition. And this one is kind of C70 edition because the only thing C70 that we're going to cover in this entire video happens to be a clip that was shot on the Canon C70, and I'm going to use that as a reference as I go through and show you how it is that you could take footage from any camera. It doesn't have to be the C70, any camera at all, and then make sure that your work, the clips that you do, the way that you deliver stands out beyond most of your competitors, and for sure, all of the free work that is out there from local broadcast companies and local cable companies. And if you're new to this channel, thanks for stopping by and checking out the work. What we're doing here is building a community of filmmakers, content creators, and professionals at all different levels where we can all share content, knowledge, and information so that we can all level up together. If you're into that type of thing, be sure to subscribe. So what is it exactly that I mean by making sure that your work stands out? Well, consider this. Let's say that every single person that you know, every competitor that you know, they're all using the same cameras. And by the way, this is camera agnostic, right? It doesn't really matter. There are lots and lots of really great cameras out in the market. C70 happens to be one of them. Sony A7S III is another. FX6 is another, and so on, right? The list just keeps going on. So if everybody has a great camera and we're all working and shooting similar content, whether it be corporate or commercial work or training or house of worship stuff, right? No matter what it is that you're doing, music videos, if everybody takes the clips that they're working on and then they apply the manufacturer provided LUT. So in my case, if I'm talking about the C70, I apply the Canon provided LUT for my proper delivery. Guess what happens? Very soon, everything begins to look the same. And when everything begins to look the same, the value of that work begins to go down. And why is that? Because there is a flood of availability or a flood of where they can get that look, that quality, which generally means they don't have to go with you. And that's true for me, right? If all of a sudden everybody in my region started shooting on the same cameras that are attainable for everyone, and they all started applying the same LUTs or the same looks, all of a sudden our work basically becomes a commodity. So now it's just a matter of where is it the cheapest so that I could actually continue to move my project along. That's what I meant about pivoting, like we've had to pivot this year, which is fine. Well, the next level of pivoting for me is going to be into creating custom looks that somebody else can't just come in and replicate. You know, in the past, I've talked a lot about my LUTs and how they speed up my workflow. That's all fine and dandy, but a LUT is not going to be able to get you this. Check this out. At first glance, you're probably thinking, oh, that's some sort of creative LUT. That's some sort of burnt-in LUT. And what I'm going to tell you is that this is not a LUT. It's not a LUT. A LUT does not have the ability to replicate what I'm showing you in these clips. Not at all. And why is that? Because a LUT simply just takes, value X and moves it into value Y as it reassembles the tonal curve, the saturation, the contrast of what it is that you captured in camera. What I'm showing you here is actual film emulation. Why does that even matter? Well, if you guys have been around this channel for a while, you know that at one point I owned the Fujifilm X-T3. And the footage that came out of that camera, well, it's burnt in, right? You drop in the Eternal LUT and it turns beautiful. Very little adjustments that you can actually make, but the image really just was ready for prime time, beautiful straight out of the camera. Well, the reason why Fujifilm cameras have those very specific looks is because Fujifilm actually made film stock that was developed by whomever was using the film stock on their projects, on their films, on whatever it is that they were shooting, right? And it needed to go through an actual development and processing of that film negative to turn it into the motion picture that we all see. That is what I'm showing you in this piece of software. It's a plugin that works with Resolve and only on Resolve at this point. And also, it's only Mac specific at this point. But this allows you to take any number of film emulation looks and absolutely give you a look that is so unique and so eye-popping. It's kind of nostalgic, except it's very modern. And you can develop it in an infinite number of ways. Any clip from any camera can be developed into any one of these film emulation modes with an infinite number of color and possibilities, everything from the way film breathes, to the way that it blooms, to the way that highlights roll off, you name it. You have so much control that I was just too excited not to share with you. So let's take the mystery out of it. What is it? It's called Dehancer. It's a plugin, as I mentioned, that works with Resolve, and it is Mac specific at this point. But it is one of the most powerful and best and easiest to use pieces of software that I have ever seen. And in the past, when I wanted to experiment with the film look, I have purchased LUTs that were film emulation LUTs. And they're kind of a letdown, if I'm honest, right? I'm not going to put anybody on blast, but they just didn't really cut it. This piece of software allows you to manipulate your image in any way that you want and give you breathtaking, beautiful, finished results. And I think that it's absolutely important that we all find sort of our lane so that we can have something unique to offer to our clients, which is why I'm even sharing this information with you guys today. I am so excited about this piece of software that I reached out to the person and the company that put this piece together or put this plugin together. And I am trying to work out a deal with them so that I can help sort of create workflow related videos and show you exactly how it is that I could end up with some of these very unique looks and share them all with you. But more importantly, I want to give back to this community that we're building here. And if any of you find it, interesting or want to experiment or flat out want to take an approach like me where you want to create very specific custom looks that basically you might be one of the only people in your market that's able to deliver those to those clients, I want to give you guys, try to get you guys a discount. I think it's that important and worth it. That's really all I have for today. So hopefully, Christmas is like 2 days away. Hopefully you guys are spending time with family and friends and staying safe. That's really the most important thing. I'm really glad that 2020 is almost over. Today we are going through a blizzard where I'm at, which really means we're in. Not that we would have anywhere to go because COVID, but this is why I'm spending my time sharing all this stuff with you guys. So if you guys found this information useful, or you think that this is actually cool, or let me know if you guys think that I'm totally wrong and I'm gushing over something that really doesn't deserve to be gushed over. Because, as I mentioned, I'm excited about it. When I see the results on my monitor, I'm just like, how did that even happen? So until next time, I'm Carlos, and I will catch you guys in the comments. Take care.